So you want to know how I made this awesome thumbnail for my cousin? Well, you're in the right place, because I'm about to show you how I did it and how you can make your own to make your channel stand out. Now first, we're going to want to open Lightroom Classic. And as you'll see on my import page, I have the finished thumbnail here, but we'll get to that. And then this HEIC file. Now that's Apple's codec, and a lot of softwares, including Lightroom, don't like it. So I'm gonna have to convert this to a JPG here real quick. So now I've got this JPG in here. I can click on that, have it checked, and then hit import. Now it has imported my file and it is in my Lightroom project. The next thing I'm gonna do is hit D on my keyboard to open the develop module. And then in the develop page, I can do a quick auto color correct on the entire thing. Now, we wanna make the thumbnail pop. We want it to stand out. It needs pizzazz. And the way we're gonna do that is with masking. We can go over to the masking part of the develop page and hit add new mask subject. And this is gonna analyze the whole photo and pick out the subject. And then from here, we can edit just that part of the photo. I'm gonna add some saturation, make it a little bit brighter. And then the next thing that I'm gonna do, since the quality from this phone isn't the greatest, is I'm gonna go down to the effects tab down here. And I'm going to add a little bit of dehaze, some more clarity, and then you'll also see that that brings out some more of the colors and makes it a little bit more saturated, so that makes it pop even more. And then for the most part, that's all we need to do for the subject. And then we'll go back over here and we'll hit create new mask. And then we can select the background. Now this selects everything except for the subject that we have. And here, I'm going to bring down the saturation, make it a little bit more yellow to make it look a little bit more sandy, and bring down the exposure a little bit too. And then another thing we can do is introduce a little bit of depth of field. Now this is a concept you've probably seen a lot. In fact, it's in all kinds of movies and TV shows and photography. And that's where the background is blurred out from the characters. And it gets blurrier and blurrier the farther back you go. And that can be done by using lens blur in the lens blur panel. We'll apply and it'll analyze the photo and figure out where the background is. Now the background is more blurred than the characters, which makes them stand out even more. Well, I'm pretty happy with this image now. It's a lot better than the original. So I'm gonna hit G and go back to the library page, and then go to export. I will choose my export location. Right now it's just set to my desktop, but I will set it to a different folder. And then I'm going to rename it to a custom file name. So for this one, I'll probably just write circle thumbnail. And then I'll just go ahead and hit export, and that will export my file. Now we're in Photoshop. Now the next thing we want to do is show the viewers what's happening in this photo. So we're going to clarify it by adding a bright red circle to show the viewer that we're inside of a circle, just like in a Mr. Beast video. So to do that, I'm going to take the ellipse tool and then just create a rough ellipse. See, this isn't even close to where it needs to be, but now I can move it exactly where it needs to be. And now I will change the color parameters to make it the exact shape and color that I want. So I'm going to get rid of the fill. And I'm going to add a red stroke. And then I'll make the stroke about that big. So that's about where I want the circle to be. Now I have to put it behind my subject. So what I'm going to do is select the background, copy and paste it. So now we have two backgrounds. Then I'm going to put the second background on top of our circle. And then I will hit select subject. Now it has selected my subject, and I can make sure that it's everything that I want it to be. And I really like its selection. It even selected some of his hair. It looks great. And then I'm gonna mask it. And then as you can see, it removed the rest of the image, and now you can see the circle behind the characters, which is just how we want it. Now we want to blend the circle into the scene a little bit better, because right now you really can't tell what it's doing. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go to our circle and go to the blending options. And then I'm just going to mess with a couple different blending options until I get something that I kind of like. I ended up going with overlay because it makes the circle a little bit more transparent, but still very visible. And you can see all the shadows in it, which gives it some more depth. And that's it, we're done. I really like this thumbnail and I think it turned out very well. So I'm gonna hit quick export as PNG. I will save it as circle thumbnail PNG. And there we go, there's our final thumbnail. I hope you learned something today and that this will help you out in the future. Have a good one, see you later.